Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
He sat down at the right hand of God, waiting. Now look at this. Waiting from. And I'm going to hang my hat on that word from. From. Not just until. Not just he's waiting and none of his kingdom is advancing. We live in a parenthesis. We live in a current 2,000-year pause. God was doing something with Israel. Israel rejected the Messiah. He came to his own. They received him not. And therefore, God put everything on pause. And all of a sudden, God started a side project because his primary project with Israel wasn't going so well. So he started a side project with Gentiles that he's interested in, but not quite as interested. And he's doing something with these Gentiles for 2,000 years. We're just on a pause. We're on a pause. We're on a pause. But eventually, his kingdom will come back. And it'll come suddenly, all at once, cataclysmically. Right? Because that's the nature of God. That's always the way that God works, cataclysmically. God doesn't work with a process. Like sanctification being lifelong, everything I said earlier, well, let's just go ahead and recant that. God, even the way he created the earth. He didn't do it with a process, saying this and then this and then this over the process of 6 days. No, he just spoke one word and everything just, boom, happened. Right? And God didn't work through a process in bringing about the lineage of the Messiah through Israel over the course of centuries. God didn't work through a process with building the temple and the nation state of Israel and progressively revealing different covenants. God didn't build up types and shadows to point towards the promised one. God has never worked through a process. God, we know, if anything we know about God, he is cataclysmic and sudden. Premillennial dispensationalism. Nope. No. The true faith, once and for all, handed down to the saints. Covenant theology. Reformed doctrine. Paul's doctrine. Augustine's doctrine. Calvin's doctrine. Zwingli's doctrine. Luther's doctrine. Owen's doctrine. John Knox's doctrine. That good old time religion. That's what the Bible teaches. God does not do things cataclysmic. If God has done things through a process, he is long-suffering, slow to anger, patient and kind. God has done things from a process, from creation, through Israel, through our own sanctification, even at the individual level. But God's MO, he'll change. God has always shown himself to be one way in terms of his very nature and character and the ways that he works in the world. But with the final work of God in eschatology, that's when he'll shake it all up. God has said, I am like this, I am like this, I am like this, I am like this. Gotcha! No. That is bad doctrine. And I will not be kind about it. It's why the church is where it is today. It's why we surrendered every institution. It's why we gave up. And it's why people are trying to trans kids. Dispensational, premillennial doctrine. There are other doctrines to be sure, but that's a big one. And I will not be soft towards it. No, God is bringing about his kingdom progressively over time. It is the mustard seed that slowly grows into a tree. It is the leaven that slowly works through the whole batch of dough. It is the rock, the stone cut by no human hands that breaks and shatters all the kingdoms of this world, starting with the feet, mixture of bronze or iron and clay, working all the way up to all the different kingdoms. And then that stone cut by no human hands, not only does it shatter the kingdoms of this world, but then in this world, it grows into a mountain that fills the whole earth. This is the character of God. This is his MO. This is the way he works in the world. Always has, always will.
Big news. Really big news. Our next Right Response Conference is in the works. We've got a number of things already lined up and organized. This is what we got so far. The whole conference, 3 days long, on postmillennialism and theonomy. And the speakers, Dr. James White, Dr. Joseph Boot, Gary DeMar, and of course yours truly, Pastor Joel Webbon. We've got a great lineup. We've got great topics. If you want to find out dates and location and registration and anything else, go and visit our website, rightresponseconference.com. rightresponseconference.com.